You open your phone before you even get out of bed. You check your bank balance, not because you need the money today, just because you need to know it is still there. Your stomach drops for half a second, then it settles again. You have probably done this already today. Here is something strange. For most of human history, that feeling did not exist. For nearly 200,000 years, not one human ever checked a balance. Not one person ever went broke. Not one. That feeling in your chest is not about money. It is about something much older. Picture a camp at the edge of the Tanzanian bush. Smoke rises from a small fire. A hunter walks in carrying fresh meat. Within hours, every family in the camp has eaten from it. Nothing is saved. Nothing is stored for later. A researcher named Frank Marlowe spent years living among the Hadza, one of the last hunting communities on Earth. He watched this same pattern happen again and again. Meat entering camp, and meat disappearing before nightfall. No hoarding, no savings, no one keeping score. To modern eyes, this looks like poverty. No bank, no storage, no safety net. But look closer, and something else appears. Nobody in that camp was ever one bad decision away from ruin, because nobody owned enough to lose everything. There was nothing to protect, so there was nothing to fear losing. But that is not the whole story. Now picture something closer to home. Imagine watching a number in your banking app fall lower than you expected. Your chest tightens before your mind even understands why. In 1979, a researcher named Daniel Kahneman studied that exact reaction. He found that losing money hurts the brain almost twice as much as gaining the same amount feels good. Losing $100 feels far worse than finding $100 feels good. Your brain does not treat money like a number. It treats money like danger, like something that once meant hunger, or cold, or being left behind by the group. That tightness in your chest was never really about the money. It is a signal built for a world that no longer exists. Except there was a problem. Now picture something even older than money itself. A group of early humans standing at the edge of a grassland, watching the sky darken before a storm. No walls, no roof, no stored grain waiting inside a barn. Just each other. That was the entire safety net. A researcher named Kim Hill spent decades studying small foraging communities in South America. He found something unexpected. When one hunter failed to catch anything for weeks, he did not go hungry. Other families simply fed him, not out of pity, out of instinct, because tomorrow the roles might reverse. This was not generosity the way we think of it today. It was insurance. Except nobody called it that. Nobody signed a contract. Nobody tracked who owed who. The debt lived in memory, not in paper. But here is what is fascinating. Your brain still remembers this system, even though the system is gone. Think about the last time you lent a friend money. You probably felt a small flicker of tension until it was repaid. Not because the amount mattered, because some ancient part of you was tracking a balance older than currency itself, a balance measured in trust, not dollars. Now compare that to saving money alone, in silence, with no one watching. It does not feel the same. It feels colder, less certain. Because for most of human history, safety never came from a number in a vault. It came from people who would notice if you disappeared. Here is where it gets strange. In 1937, an anthropologist studying Kalahari communities described something that unsettled modern economists for decades. Members of these groups often gave away food or tools almost as soon as they received them. To Western observers, this looked reckless, like they were bad at planning, like they did not understand the value of saving. But that judgment came from a world with banks, a world with rent and bills and empty apartments no one is watching. In a small camp, giving away your extra food was not reckless. It was the safest investment available. Because the return was not stored in a container, it was stored in the people around you. Now think about your own bank account, sitting quietly, growing slowly, watched by no one but you. It keeps you alive in a legal sense, but it cannot visit you when you are sick. It cannot carry water when your leg is broken. It cannot remember your name. For almost all of human history, survival was never private. It was witnessed. But somewhere between the first stored grain and the first locked door, something changed. Somewhere, a person built a wall around a pile of grain, not to hide it from animals, to hide it from other people. That single wall changed everything. For the first time, one family could hold more than they needed, while another family held nothing. Before that wall, hunger was shared. After it, hunger became private, and privacy is where fear moves in. A researcher named Brian Hayden studied early farming settlements and noticed something unsettling. Once families began storing surplus grain, status appeared almost overnight. Some houses grew larger, Some held more pots, more tools, more space. Others did not. For the first time in human history, two people could stand in the same village and live completely different lives. One worried about the harvest failing, the other worried about losing what they had already gained. That second worry was brand new. It had never existed before the wall. Now think about your own life. Not the wall around your grain, the wall around your phone screen, showing a number that rises and falls without warning. You are not just managing money. You are managing an ancient alarm system, built for scarcity, now wired into a world of screens and passwords. Your body still reacts like the tribe is watching, even when no one is. You still feel shame spending on yourself. You still feel pride when you help someone else. You still flinch at loss far more than you celebrate gain. None of that is weakness. It is memory. A memory older than currency, older than banks, older than the idea of owning anything at all. For most of human history, nobody went broke, because nobody could. There was nothing to hoard, so there was nothing to lose. Then came walls and grain and silence, and numbers that only you can see. The fear did not disappear, it just lost its tribe. Somewhere inside you is a person standing at the edge of a fire, still waiting to see if the group will feed him tomorrow. The fire is gone, the camp is gone, but the waiting never stopped.